2014 marked the 50th anniversary of this conflict, which is one of the oldest conflicts in the world. We also had the continuation of the peace process that gave some hope to the country. We have to take into consideration the specific situation of the populations affected by armed conflict and violence in the country. The ICRC continued, as it did the last 45 years, to act in favor of protection and assistance of the affected population in the conflict areas in Colombia in 2014. The problem of missing persons is one of the major concerns that the ICRC had. We know from state sources that there are 100,000 missing persons. The ICRC has focused its attention to the families of the disappeared, because we have seen that these families have specific needs. They have a right to know, and in this framework the ICRC undertakes everything possible in order to help them as much as we can. Weapon contamination is applied for those populations living in areas where there are unexploded or exploded artifacts. It impacts clearly the population, conditions the whole life of a community, or who are directly hit by these explosives. We launched an activity for 11,500 persons, giving them advice on how to behave in a more secure way, and we think this is de facto lowering the risks for the affected populations. 1 in 4 cases of reported violations of international humanitarian law concern minors. That's where they should benefit from their rights to be protected. The ICRC facilitated the return of minors who had belonged to armed groups before and brought them back to their families. We try to transmit in the school curricula values to prevent violence from happening. We give special attention to the environments of schools, because that's where youth, children are most affected. The problem of the penitentiary system in Colombia is a difficult one. The main problem that this penitentiary system has is overcrowding. This problem has been tackled through different means, legal means, but also political means. The ICRC is present in every prison in this country, trying to have dialogue with authorities, trying to improve the situation of prisoners. We can say that every day an ICRC delegate is in one of the prisons of this country. We visited 72% of the whole population that is imprisoned. That corresponds to about 80,000 prisoners in Colombia in 2014. The present situation in Colombia gives rise to some optimism, while taking into consideration the specific needs of the population still affected by armed conflict and violence. But we hope, in order to complete this, that the third party, the ELN, will be included very soon in these peace talks. It is clear that at the same time we have to take into consideration the specific situation of the populations. We have seen, our delegates have seen, that in these persons you discover resilience, you discover also the courage to survive, and this has given us strength to continue doing what we are mandated to do, and doing also what we would like to do and what we would do until the very end of this conflict.